Hello out there, guys. Hope you're doing really well. I hope that you are not in too much fear with the new theme that's running out there at the moment in the media. I can't talk about this stuff too much because they don't like it, and I don't want to get my channel taken down. But it is hilarious to me that we have gone from one fear-based theme to another overnight, and yeah, it's just such a crazy time to be alive. So I hope you're coping with the insanity okay. I hope you're connecting with like-minded people. It's really important, even if you're just doing it online, just to keep your sanity, just to feel like you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. But today I wanted to speak about what I consider one of the biggest New Age deceptions right now. Before I get into it, if you are new here, please consider subscribing, liking the channel. If you are already subscribed, don't forget the bell notification, because I know that some of my videos do get buried by the algorithms and you don't want to miss my content. So, or maybe you do. Maybe you don't want to hit the bell notification. But yeah, so today I'm going to speak about the whole idea of the Ascension timeline, this 5D New Earth timeline. Now, I do speak about this a lot in my New Age review videos, but what I'm trying to do now is do breakdown videos of each of the deceptions. So I recently did one on destroying the ego, the whole idea that we're supposed to destroy a part of who we are. I did another one, what was it I've done? I can't remember all of them, but I'm trying to do individual breakdowns because I'm getting a lot of new subscribers lately. I just did a podcast on the Jeff Ma podcast, his YouTube channel, talking about entity attachments and things like that, the false white light. So a lot of new people are coming over, so welcome everyone. And so I just really want to make this clear in people's minds about where these deceptions lie, because as I've said many times, these deceptions within the New Age are so subtle, and you can blink and miss them many times. It's genius how they've packaged this together, this kind of fake spirituality, this false awakening, which I call it, where people are waking up to more truths about themselves, about the world, and then they're just falling into the New Age movement, and it's just another layer of the matrix. It's just another strand in the web. It's all designed to keep us passive, inactive, just to accept any kind of evil being thrown our way. And this is very apparent when you get into the realms of looking at the whole idea of an ascension timeline, or a 5D timeline, or this whole idea of New Earth, which a lot of these popular New Agers are heavily promoting right now. I've done a lot of review videos about the likes of Magenta Pixie, Laurie Ladd, a lot of these big hitters in the quote-unquote spiritual movement are pushing this idea that you can just at any given moment wake up or and just choose your reality. Like you just get to choose just by your intention. I mean, it's a half truth, because yes, you can wake up and you can choose to start the day in a positive manner, in a positive fashion. You can be very aware of your thoughts, and that's very important. I don't want to make it sound like I'm against positivity per se, or encouraging that we have better feelings about ourselves and look at things with a positive attitude. But where this falls down in what they're promoting is this whole idea that, you know, just by thinking only positive thoughts, just by imagining that we're on this quote unquote positive timeline where everything is love and light, where this evil is just falling apart and we don't have to do anything, we just have to keep our vibrations high, this is a very, very dangerous thing to get involved in. And as I've pointed out before, it's very popular, and you can understand why it's very popular, and I understand why people go for it, because if you can believe that you don't have to take any action, you don't have to do anything, you solely by keeping your vibration high, and thinking happy thoughts and singing Kumbaya under the oak tree, that you are somehow transcending all this dark and evil, then who's not going to want to do that, right? Who's not going to want to do it? And this, I get it, you know, and this is why my work triggers a lot of people, because I'm basically bursting a lot of people's bubbles, right? Not only with that, but with all the false white light beings that I talk about, you know, the Archangel Michaels and all these beings that people want to connect to and believe that they're batting for our team and they're here to help and they're going to come down in their spacecraft and take all our troubles away. I get that it triggers people, because this world is a very difficult place to be. It's very challenging. I've said before, I call this planet the gangster planet. If this is a game of Sims, which it kind of is, this is the gangster edition, right? Badass Earth. And many people have a lot of trauma. Well, I guess nearly everyone carries trauma. And people want to escape. They want to escape that trauma. How do they do that? They do it through drugs, alcohol, food, sex, weed. And now they do it through this fake spirituality. They're constantly searching for the new or the next injection of spiritual high in order to make themselves feel good, in order to help them cope with just being here on a day-to-day basis. Especially now as things are getting more and more insane, more and more crazy. The last 2 years, I call it clown world. You know, we're living in a big open air mental asylum where people have literally lost their minds. We've got people walking around scared of their own life force energy, right? Covering their orifices. And just being around that is, you know, it triggers me. It does. And right now, people are looking to escape more than ever, because what's happening is, because a lot of people have not done a lot of internal work as well, that inner child is also being triggered. And in a way, when you look at it, we're kind of being bullied with what's going on, being forced to do this, mandates for that, and, you know, forced into our homes. We're being bullied, right? And essentially that's where a lot of our trauma leads back to, whether that's from school, whether that's from unconscious parenting. So we're constantly being triggered, so we want to feel good. And then so what happens? We fall into the New Age movement, where it's all love and light. It's all angels, it's all high vibes, 5D timeline, New Earth, all that kind of jazz. God, who wouldn't want all that, right? So I want you guys to know, especially if you're new to the channel, that I do understand why there is this draw to it. And you know, there was a day where I was into it a little bit, not to the extent that some people are into it. But this whole idea that you can just wake up at any given moment, or just decide at any given moment that you can just shift your timeline, is a big deception. And what does that do? Who does that benefit? We always have to ask the question, who does it benefit by us buying into this 5D New Earth timeline? Well, it benefits people that want to control, take away our freedoms, take away our rights, keep us passive, keep us inactive. stop us from feeling righteous anger, which is very important to trigger change in the world. I've spoken about this many a time. The idea that we should never get angry about anything. So we always have to look when we're taking in information. Who does this benefit? If I believe that I can just choose my own timeline and I don't have to do anything, I don't have to speak any uncomfortable truths, I don't have to upset the apple cart, I don't have to take any physical real life action, well, of course that benefits the people that continue to control, manipulate and deceive us, because essentially you're out of the game, you're off the playing field, right? They've got you. You're on the subs bench now because you're not taking part. You're just sitting there in some kind of la-la land. And, there's so many people that are falling into this trap. And it's so important that we call out this false awakening. This awakening, we need to awaken from the awakening. That's what I'm calling for. And of course, it always amazes me because a lot of this choosing your own timeline, New Earth, this was all last year or the last couple of years. Maybe it still is, but this all tied into the QAnon thing and the Donald Trump is here to save us rhetoric. Which, of course, a politician is never going to save us all. That was always BS from the start. But lots and lots and lots of people fell into that trap. And some of them are still into it today. And actually what I've noticed now is the people, sadly, the people that thought that Trump were going to save us now believe that Putin is going to save us. So they've gone from one politician to the next. And that's the thing that we have to realise. We have to realise that nobody is coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. We have to become our own leaders. There's trailblazers out there, sure. There's people that we can take information from. But we have to be discerning and we have to realise that if we want to change this world, and I want to make this clear, I definitely think that we can, right? I definitely think that we can create a much better world. And I'm not saying that there cannot be some version of what they call the New Earth, but it's not going to come with just sitting there, keeping your vibration high, thinking positive thoughts, thinking that you can just choose to be in a reality that you're not, because you're not. I mean, it's self-evident, right? If I go out this morning, if I wake up this morning and I decide that I'm on a 5D timeline, I'm still going to walk out my front door and see a load of masked people. They love masks here in Mexico, by the way. I'm still going to go online and see how people have suddenly changed all their virtue signaling overnight from take the you-know-what jib to I stand with Ukraine, right? It's unbelievable how people just care about what they're told to care about. I mean, you've got all these other countries out there that are being bombed. I think this week Somalia was being bombed, right? Yemen, all these countries, Palestine, all these countries constantly being bombed every day, yet no one bats an eyelid. And yet overnight, because the television has told them that they need to care about this, and the celebrities have come out virtue signalling, now all of a sudden everyone cares about the Ukraine, when most people couldn't even point it out on a map. It's insane. It's insane. So by choosing a 5D timeline, I'm not suddenly out of all of that BS. That doesn't just suddenly disappear. But what they keep saying is that they're waiting for the next thing. They're waiting for the next thing, and then it's going to fall apart. The next Lion's portal, the next eclipse, the next astrological event, then we're going to start moving more into the 5D timeline, into the new earth. It's always the next thing, always. And what happens? It never comes. Oh, Trump's doing this. That doesn't happen. Oh, but now we're on to the Red October. What happens then? Nothing. We go deeper into enslavement, deeper loss of rights, deeper loss of freedoms. That was the 5D timeline that we were told to believe in, that the likes of Magenta Pixie was telling all her followers to believe in, and Laurie Ladd and Feel Good and all the other big hitters out there. And they're deceiving you guys. They're deceiving you in a very subtle love and light kind of way, in a way in which it comes across as wonderful, high vibrational, great, beautiful, because they're playing on the fact that you have a lot of trauma that's unhealed and you're triggered right now and you want to believe in something good. And the something good, guys, is us, is the truly awake human beings that are making an impact in this world, that are standing up for our rights and freedoms, that are refusing to go along with this stuff by sheer force, by courage, by willpower. These are all the qualities they don't talk to you about in the New Age. When do they ever talk to you in the New Age about courage, speaking your truth, making a stand, going against the grain, standing strong in your sovereignty? These things are not mentioned. It's all accept, forgive, allow. Yeah, who does that benefit? You just allow abusers to keep abusing you. It's gonna benefit the abusers. Just forgive, they tell you. Who's that gonna benefit? The people abusing you. You don't have to forgive someone or something if you don't feel like it. Maybe you need an apology before you can forgive. You don't just forgive because you think your frequency is going to be raised or your vibration is going to be raised. There is such thing as boundary setting. So it's all very ungrounded. It's all very la la land. And it's all BS, right? The only way that we are going to create a better world is by taking physical action and doing things that we need to do that are necessary, standing up for our rights and freedoms. And I just hope that people are starting to see this for what it is right now, because it is very subtle and it's very dangerous. And last year, with the whole QAnon thing, what happened was there were a couple of documentaries that were rolled out that got huge numbers overnight. I think Fall of the Cabal, and there was maybe one or the other. Straight away, when I just saw it, I just felt something was off. And I thought to myself, these documentaries, they're dangerous. They're leading people into a cul-de-sac. And then when I looked into it more, what were they promoting? They were promoting the fact that Trump was saving us and that we were moving on to a 5D New Earth timeline. So what that did, and it was genius, that PSYOP was genius, because at that time, the whole COVID thing was so insane, people were waking up left, right and centre, and what it did, it cast a net of all those newly awakened people that would have taken action, a lot of the patriots in America that would have taken action. It caught them in a big net and it dumped them. And where did it dump them? It dumped them into the false awakening. It dumped them into something that's not real, something that would make them stand down, to stay passive, and to think that someone else is here to save us, someone else is coming here to help us. And so it was genius how they did it. And you have to take your hat off to them. But it's still going on now. It's still going on. This New Earth 5D Ascension timeline is still entrapping a lot of people's consciousnesses. It's still taking people's minds. it's still leading people astray. It's leading people into a cul-de-sac. And I have the odd comment, oh, you know, this is negative, you know, like yada yada, all of that stuff. Well, on the surface, yeah, it's not what you want to hear, but it's not about what you want to hear, it's about what's true. And I've said this so many times that what is true is often not what you want to hear. But the truth will lead you into a better place. It will lead you into an elevated state of consciousness. It will lead us into a place where we can discern and we can make the necessary and appropriate actions to move our own lives and the world into a better direction. So knowledge is never negative. The truth is never negative. The truth will help shield you and protect you if you take action upon it. So for everyone here that's new, I hope that you look at this whole idea of ascension again and the new earth. And I just want to leave you with the fact that what they're trying to take you away from is your own incredible power, is your own ability to express yourself, and by your actions, with your mind and your emotions, then we can make positive change in the world. And we're already starting to see some of it fall down. You know, a lot of the mandates, they're scrapping them all over the place. I know it's not perfect anywhere and there's other stuff going on, but you know, it seems to me that they're having to change their path. They're having to change tactics right now. And the very fact that they're having to do that, I would suggest is a good sign, because it means that what we're doing is working and they're not getting everything their own way. So little by little, step by step, we can do it. So keep positive, but in a grounded positivity, not this toxic positivity that I refer to it as, where this idea that we've already won. This is a war. It's going to go on for a while, and we can win it, and we can make great changes in the world, and we can create a version of the new earth which is grounded in truth, grounded in true spirituality, based around integrity, morality, courage, and action taking. That is how we move to a better timeline. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to leave that with you. Again, before I go, if you're new, please subscribe, like, share. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for all your support, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye now.